What's up, guys? You're listening to Confessions of a Gym Rat, getting you through the 9 to 5 as healthily and happily as possible. What a week it's been. I promise, guys, that next week episodes are going back to Mondays, but it was President's Day today. And I thought to myself, I got a really busy day because I'm doing things. And y'all are probably not going to work today anyway. So if you listen to this podcast like on your way to work or something, you're not going to miss out today. You could do it tomorrow. You could listen to it tomorrow. So I promise I'm back on my shit. I'm back on my Monday shits next week. But I hope you had yesterday off. I know not everybody did, and there's a lot of you guys who don't live in the States, so I apologize, but your girl had things to do. It's been quite, so it snowed twice last week, but I'll say I'm not really bothered by it. Like, I like it because it's not like that like hard to shovel snow, it's pretty light. So it's just a little dusting, a little scrape off the car didn't prevent me from going anywhere. But I'm not going to be that girl that just hit the wall. I'm not going to be that girl that talks about the weather every week, although I am. So hold me accountable. Anyway, this episode is not sponsored by Poppy, if you're watching on YouTube, but it should be because I can't stop drinking these things. That's some Poppy. Okay. All right, we're not doing this today. If you're not watching on YouTube, you won't see, but I have been spending money left and right lately on just new things, and we're not new things, but like things that need to be replaced and all that kind of crap. And today I go to set up for my podcast, as I do, and you're like really pretty neon sign that's a staple behind me decided we're just gonna turn off randomly when we feel like it. So I hope it's not dying because I really can't afford to replace that. So if you see the light go off behind me, don't mind me. Just gonna go and fix that and light it back up. But like I was saying, this episode is not sponsored by Poppy, but it should be because I can't stop drinking it. The root beer flavor is a little bit off, I will say. I think what's the other brand? Olipop's a little bit better. But I literally can't stop drinking this shit. And when I was in San Diego, Nush and I went to, what's it called? True Food Kitchen. And I've been to them before. I've been to Santa Monica. I went in Chicago. I love it. It's all like natural food, super healthy, but not like a vegan place or anything. No offense to you vegans, but that shit doesn't do anything for me. So we're sitting eating dinner and Nush is like, I really want a soda. And I was like, all right, Nush, like, live your best life. Like, I ain't judging you. Go for it. So she asks the woman, can I have a Coke Zero, please? And she's like, I'm sorry, we don't have Coke. And she was like, kind of giving her like this look. And then she's like, oh, okay, like, what sodas do you have? And she was like, we don't sell soda here. We're kind of like really healthy. I can get you like a prebiotic Olipop. And Nush gave me this look like, what the fuck? And tried it and was like, this shit sucks. And I was like, Nush, I want to be on your side because this waitress just sassed you for asking for a Coke. But I'm not because I really, really like this shit. I'm drinking the Doc Pop flavor right now. This one came in, I got it from Costco, the variety pack of Doc Pop, root beer, and grape. Was never a grape soda person. So I'll let you guys know what I think about the grape, but I am a little scared to try it. However, 25 calories. Ingredients are sparkling water, organic cane sugar, apple juice, fruit color, organic apple cider vinegar, organic agave inulin, natural flavors, stevia, natural tartaric acid, and natural caffeine. I love a food product that's not like a whole food where I can pronounce all the ingredients. I love that shit. Anyway, though, I'm drinking that and I will continue to do so through the episode because 1, your girl's thirsty. 2, your girl needs caffeine to get through this. Because last week we were a little bit sleepy, but this week we're back. Exciting news for you guys. I launched the announcement of my next 30-day challenge on my Instagram. So if you're rolling your eyes going yada, 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 this isn't for me, listen up, folks, because this one's for everyone. The last 30-day challenge I did really focused on building healthy habits and establishing a healthy routine before the new year started. So that was more of like I'm not in the gym. I don't know what to do. I've tried, but I can't stay consistent. This 30-day challenge is called Movement is Medicine. And the whole premise behind it, and I'm going to be sending out lessons every week, is how movement, exercise, movement in your day makes you a healthier person, how it prevents diseases, how it can prevent or how it can help you manage your stress and your anxiety levels. It doesn't make things better. It can't make depression go away, but it helps you manage things like that. And it doesn't mean you have to be in the gym doing a strenuous weightlifting workout 6 times a week. But what other intentional movement can you do to help your longevity and your overall health? So you guys can sign up for that at liftswithlizcoaching.com. Or the form is also just on liftswithliz.com. If you put in the little reasoning text box, the code word podcast, then you will get a special 30% off. It's already way, way, way cheaper than my regular personal training. It's like, I'm not going to say way, 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 because that's really dramatic. But it is at a discounted rate, and you do get all the benefits of training with me. And if you use the code podcast, you will get an additional 30% off. So I, in the most blunt way, am going to say, you know what? It's up to you if you want to be lazy or not. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying. Anyway, I want to do this new thing called Hot Topics and talk about that kind of stuff every week before we get into things. But I need to ask you guys something. This came up because I was in the gym yesterday and Marissa and I were talking about Guitar Hero. Some song came on. She was like, I used to play this on Guitar Hero. And it just took me back to the Wii days. And then I got down this whole rabbit hole of why don't people play with Wiis anymore? But that's not the discussion for today. We'll simply save that for another time. I was thinking about how we used to play Guitar Hero and we used to play Mario Kart, my brother and I. And I'm 2 years older than my brother. I, in the most literal sense of the term, I dicked around my brother as a kid. He was I was the older sister. So I got the Guitar Hero guitar that looked really nice and was looked like brown like wood, and he got the plain little white one that was slightly smaller and just boring because I'm the older one. You know, when we played Mario Kart, I got the steering wheel that looked like a real car and had something that you could put on a table to steer, while he just had the white one that came with the Wii because I'm the older sister. I was player 1. He was always player 2. And we don't do that anymore. Okay. I have changed. I think there was one day, and I remember this so clearly. I was a sophomore in high school, I think. I was a sophomore in high school. And my brother and I was just messing around with him, doing what I do. I don't know. I would do stupid things. We would sit on the opposite side of the couch and I would kick him with my feet just to be annoying. So one day we were getting a little rough with each other as siblings do. And he pinned me down and just popped one at me, which wasn't right. And he got yelled at for hitting a girl. But I will tell you, I was asking for it. I literally was asking for it. But in that moment, I wasn't thinking ow, you hurt me. I was thinking, fuck, my reign has come to an end. And I look back at it now and it's just older sister things. It wasn't out of I wanted to be mean to my brother, blah, 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 blah. But I owe him an apology, I'll say. And he'll only get this apology if he's supporting me and listening to this podcast, which I doubt he is. But I'm putting it out there. I'm sorry for being an asshole of a big sister. when we were kids. I truly should have let you use the brown wooden Guitar Hero guitar at least once. Here goes the light again. All right, hold on. In my mind, though, like, I'm very superstitious when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, we would play Trouble and he would always be red and I would always be blue, and we couldn't switch it up because it was just like, that's my color, like that's my thing. So I don't think it really bothered him that much. I think it was more of a thing where like we just picked our guitars and then those were our guitars, or it's more like I picked it and then he got the other one, and then that just stayed our thing because we're very superstitious like that. We both are. Always the same thing when we play Monopoly. But I was asking, it got me thinking because I was with John at the gym when this happened and his brother was there, his younger brother, and John's the oldest. So I was like, hey, Pat, did John like just like boss you around, like bully you when you were a kid? And Pat was like, no. And I was like, wait, what? Because they're boys. So I'm thinking like, it's got to be way worse. So then John's like, what? And I'm like, like I would always have my brother have the shittier guitar when we played Guitar Hero, and I would take the nice one. And John was like, oh, no, it wasn't that much of an asshole. And I was like, oh, I do owe my brother an apology. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Like, was I sinister? Or did you guys do that shit too? I don't know. I was just, listen, he didn't make it hard. He didn't put up a fight, but I apologize for taking my position as the big sister too seriously and for dicking you around, Brendan, if you're listening to this, which you're probably never going to. But yeah, anyway, I want to do this new thing, this new little segment called Hot Topics, because I'm always talking to you guys about what's going on in pop culture and TV and shit. But I figured if you don't like it, you just skip over it. So let's get into the hot topics of the week and my opinions on them. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is Joey, the Bachelor. Don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try. Mistaking Gypsy Rose Blanchard for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. A long moment of silence there. Listen, I'm going to say, is it the worst offense? I laughed. And I feel like if you got offended by that, you just have to laugh. Like, you need to lighten up. I'm sorry, I don't like to tell people what to do a lot when it comes to like their opinions. And I guess this is like slightly political, but it's just funny. He didn't do anything racist. Some of these old bachelors, like you find them like dressing up as like blackface when they're younger, or like tweeting racist things. Like Joey just got a little, listen, RGB or RBG, Gypsy GRB. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you didn't really know I knew who Gypsy was because when whatever that show was, what was that show that they made about her? I don't know. Whatever that show was, like, that's when I really dove into him. It was like, holy shit, I remember this from my childhood. But if you don't know anything about her, then you really don't know anything about her. It's unfortunate. They are vastly different. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a very big part of history, especially for women, and a very, very important woman. But it's just funny. I'm sorry. It just gets me laughing. And the embarrassment that he probably had when he realized that he was wrong. But I saw like an article this week that was like, Joey from The Bachelor publicly apologizes for blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God. Can we all just take a second and laugh at this? That's all I got to say on that. It's just, I thought it was funny. But next topic, another controversial topic. Let's talk about Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, okay? And I know I'm like a little bit late on this, but I want to dive further into it because I listened to New Heights on Wednesday, and everything that I had said about it, Travis and Jason backed up. So if you weren't watching this, you had to see it. You've got to see the memes by now. After it just validated my opinions even more when I heard Jason and Travis talking about it, and the way that they phrased it was like, they're very emotional people, and sometimes it's a really good thing because it allows them to do things like put their all on a football field. But because they are very emotional, have a hard time controlling it, it also has moments like that where you scream and go off at people. And honestly, I think the people that were mad about it were the people that don't watch football. They're the people who were watching for Taylor Swift. No offense, my Swiftie girls, but let's just hold up for a second. Should Travis have yelled at Andy Reid like that? No. It's disrespectful. You should not yell at anybody like that, especially your coach. But he didn't shove Andy Reid. If you look at it closely, he went to go grab him, and I think Travis Kelce really forgot that he's like 6'5", and Andy Reid's getting up there in age. He grabbed him a little too hard. Andy Reid wasn't looking, and he like kind of stumbled back a little. He did not shove him. And Andy Reid's not offended. Andy Reid was fine about it. He was like, I think Travis said that Andy called him over like a few minutes later, and in his mind, he was like, I am about to get absolutely reamed for what I just did. And Andy was like, all right, this is going to be the next play, blah, 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 blah. Just not really focusing on that. And Travis apologized to him. He was like, I should not have done that. But Andy was like, listen, it was the heat of a very important game. You were frustrated because you weren't on the field to help stop something from happening and whatever. So I'm on that same page. That's my opinions on it. Should he have done it? No. Like, does he probably need to work on controlling his emotions? Yes. But he didn't push him. Like, he didn't shove him. And I think it was made to be a bigger deal than it was. And if anything, we got a fantastic meme out of it. Fantastic. Let's see. I had some other things on my list. Let's see. Oh, the People's Choice Awards were this week. I didn't watch them. I wasn't home last night, so I got nothing to say. The only things I do have to say is Ariana Madix won some sort of award for being on Dancing with the Stars, which is so valid. And Kyle Richards looked great. And she continues to look great. She looks the same as she did when she started Beverly Hills. Last thing, Taylor sang You're Losing Me for like the first time live in Melbourne this week. And I watched it and I had full body chills and I cried a little bit. I've said this before. I don't understand how singers can go on a stage and sing a song, especially Taylor. She writes like a star. I don't know how she gets up there and sings such meaningful words with so much hurt behind them and is okay and gets through it. You could see the emotion on her face and she gets through it without a quiver in her voice. Not me. I'm listening to this in bed by myself and I got tears in my eyes. Like, what? Yeah. I would like to hear that one day. That one will proper fuck me up. But yeah, those are my hot topics for the week. We do have a packed episode and a good interview this week, so I want to move things along and let's get started.